Hello, my beautiful ducklings. How are you today? I'm doing great. Sorry that this came out a little bit late today, but we've got some good videos coming up. We're going to do three movie reviews. So the first one up is one that I am super stoked about. It is, wait, would it be there, or there? Wherever it is. It is Spy. So this movie I could not wait for. I was so excited when it came out. I was vibrating with anticipation. So I finally got the chance to see it. This is a movie that you absolutely cannot take children to. And so, as you all know, I've got two girls that I'm with 24/7, so it's nearly impossible for me to be able to actually go to the theater and see something that they're not allowed to see. So I was super excited when I got the opportunity to see it, and now I'm going to share my review with all of you. So first things first, I don't know if I've said it before, but I am absolutely in love with the beautiful, gorgeous, hilarious, unbelievably talented Melissa McCarthy. I call her my wife all the time. It's an absolute joke. Of course, she is married, happily married to a beautiful man who I think directed the movie. But he's awesome. He's also very funny. They've got two beautiful girls together. So when I say that, I don't mean any disrespect whatsoever. I just say it because if I were to take a wife, I certainly hope it could be Melissa McCarthy. So anyway, let's get into the movie review. So I don't think it's a spoiler to let you guys know that Jason Statham and 50 Cent are also in the movie. 50 Cent does basically a cameo though. He's not actually like in the movie, but his part is a lot bigger than you would think, because generally when somebody does a cameo, it'll be like a quick, you know, maybe 2 minutes into the movie, but he's got a good 10-minute part in the movie. So Jason Statham, who I'm sure if you've watched the interviews, you've heard it said 1,000 times, you don't realize is funny, but he's actually quite hilarious. So basically in the movie, if you have no idea what the movie is about, so Melissa McCarthy plays Susan Cooper, and she is an actual spy. She's a full-fledged spy, but she works behind the desk, and she works she works beside Jude Law, who's in the field. And so I'm not going to give away any spoilers, don't worry. And if I do give away a spoiler, I will tell you it's a spoiler, but honestly, it won't be a big deal spoiler. The movie will still be enjoyable. So through a series of events, she ends up getting put into the field, and basically from there on, you're just watching her. I'm not gonna say, like, okay, so you know it's gonna be like a goofy movie where she does like spy things that aren't spy-y, or she screws them up, or what have you. But honestly, the one that really buggers it up the most is Jason Statham. And I mean, it is hilarious, just the stuff that he does. She actually progresses, and you start seeing like, wow, Melissa McCarthy is badass. Also, nice little fun fact, Melissa McCarthy did the majority of her stunts in this movie. There is a scene where she's flying on the helicopter. Don't worry, that's not a spoiler. You see it in the trailer. Where she's hanging onto the helicopter as it's flying away. She actually did that. She showed up to set, and they were like, alright, so, you know, Susan's going to be on the helicopter. She's like, oh, okay, so stunt double's going to do that? And she's like, they're like, no, you're going to hang onto the helicopter, and it's going to fly around. So, I mean, how awesome is that? Okay, so in the movie, then that's basically the story, by the way, is you just, you know, I mean, that's it. That's the story. Is she goes into the field, and you just watch her progress as a spy. Basically, there's like, somebody has a nuke, and they're trying to sell it to terrorists, so they're going from like person to person, like buyer to buyer, to see who's going to pay them the most, so that, wow, my movie review is so short today! Yay! I figured out how to do it! Hitta! Okay, so, basically, they're going like from buyer to buyer to figure out how to sell this nuke to like whatever terrorist that they can figure out, whoever the highest buyer is, that's who they're going to sell it to. So Melissa McCarthy has to figure out basically where the nuke is so that the CIA can get rid of it. That's the story plot. That's the storyline. Now, the meat, well, that's the meat of the movie. So, let's get into the sides. The macaroni and cheese of the movie is, I'm totally going to start doing movie reviews like that, where it's like, we do like a dinner, because that's awesome. Okay, so the macaroni and cheese of the movie is like the comedy in it. Now, some of the comedy, generally like Melissa McCarthy movies, or even just comedies in general, especially ones that are like spy movie spoofs, generally the comedy is like, it's like in your face, you know, like, you know it's coming. It's like, ah, you know. But for this, it's not like that. So it's some of it is kind of slow. Like some of it is like, ah! But some of it's kind of slow. It's like, I don't want to say slow because you're not going to be bored, but some of the jokes are like, they're a little longer. It's like a 30-second joke instead. And then some of the jokes are like, you have to listen for them because you'll miss it, because it's like they say something this way when it's supposed to be this way and stuff like that. And then the other thing, the reason why I said not to let your kids watch it is because there's a scene in the movie where there's sexual favor done that there's absolutely no way to explain to your kids. Like, it's very graphic, it's very obvious what they're doing. If your kid were to see that, they would know what's going on and it would just be confusing and you're not going to explain that away. The other reason why is because the language. How did it get so fast? Oh my god, my time's up. The other thing is that the language is, there's like, it's not in the beginning, but towards the end, like the language gets really, really bad. There's a lot of sexual innuendos and there's a lot of just, it's very sexually explicit. And so again, your kids are they're gonna know what's going on, and you're not gonna be able to explain it. So don't let your kids see it. Now, so I was saying, like, some of the jokes are kind of slow or whatever, but it doesn't take away from the pace of the movie. The movie, it's still really funny. So the green beans of the movie, like the action, this is totally an action movie. There is a lot of action in this movie. Like, I mean, there's cars blowing up. There's, like, people getting flipped around. I mean, it's a spy movie, but it's like a legit, oh, sorry, the heat has done something horrible to my hair. But, like, it's a spy movie, and, like, the spy stuff that they do, like, the fight scenes and stuff like that, the choreography, it's awesome. Like, I mean, there's like legit spy stuff in this movie. So then you need your dinner roll. And your dinner roll is going to be like the actual movie itself, because it is a comedy, and you don't want to watch a movie where it's like you're watching stand-up with like a picture playing behind it, and it's like, okay, this movie, like legit, even if they took the comedy out, you would totally be into this movie. There's a few things, like maybe 1 or 2 points that you kind of see coming, but it does not bother you at all. The way that the story goes and the way that it progresses, you're totally fine with the fact that you kind of knew that was going to happen. And even when they do present it and you find out like, oh, I was right, you totally forgot that you knew that, and you're like, oh yeah, I saw that coming. So, I mean, it's awesome. It's hilarious. Jason Statham gets an amazing performance, because who would have thought he was funny, and he's hilarious. And he doesn't even do anything action-y. Like, that, how brilliant was that to have Jason Statham in the movie, and he doesn't do the action-y stuff. He's just, like, hilarious. And then you got Melissa McCarthy gives a great performance. The other chick, I always forget her name. The one from Insidious. Well, she's in it too, and you hate her, and then you kind of feel bad for her. So anyway, I don't want this to get too terribly long, because I don't want anyone to be like, oh my god, this is boring, I'm going home. But anyway, I just wanted to give that review real quick. I hope I explained it. I hope I made it like good and everything like that. Yeah, but it's fracking hilarious. Like, you are gonna love this movie. It is so funny. As soon as it comes out, I'm definitely gonna buy it, and I do not spend $30 on movies. I don't do it, but I'm going to this time, because this was freaking hilarious. You are absolutely gonna love this movie. Go see this movie. It's still in theaters right now, so if when it comes, if you want to wait so that you can rent it or whatever, I think that'd be like another month, and then you should be able to rent it from Redbox. But honestly, it's totally worth it to like go to the movie. Like, it really is worth the $7. It's freaking hilarious. Yeah, that's basically all I gotta say. So I really, really hope you enjoy it. Bye-bye, my ducklings.